Hello, we are back on the right platform. Guys, good evening, good evening. Look at Zoe. Zoe is so quiet here, keeping a match. I didn't realize. Hi, Jane. Thank you for joining us again, Jane. I didn't realize that I'm on the movement page. Top writer, thank you for joining. I was wondering why we only had one or two people that was with us. I'm so sorry. Apologies. I'm here now and Zoe is here. Zoe is the first daughter of Dr. Sunday Adelaja and Pastor Dere Adelaja. And we're both here. We've been here for 6 minutes wondering what was going on. But it's my fault really. I went on the movement page. So I do apologize. And for those of you wondering what was going on, again, I want to apologize. Thank you so much for joining. And as you're coming in, please, guys, please share so that we can get started. I invited Zoe for an interview. As you know, guys, I interviewed Pearl, who is the second daughter of the Adelajas, and she obliged because of the 23rd anniversary message that she sent to her parents. And I've also wanted to interview Zoe for a while, but I was just telling Zoe that I didn't invite Zoe because Zoe is so quiet, very reserved. You will meet her. I mean, you're meeting her now, but you will hear from her, and you would see that she's quite reserved. So I wanted to interview her over a card that she sent to her dad on Father's Day in June. And I've been wondering, how can I do this? I know some of you would have seen me analyzing this for a few minutes. I would actually let her show you, but I'm just showing you why I'm showing you the reason behind this. So I decided to invite her. She obliged. She's here. I'm very happy that she's here, and she's going to tell us in her own words how she feels, what she did. So she wrote this card. Okay, I'll tell you about this card. She wrote this card and she left it on the table where Dad works. Her dad, it was on solitude at the time. So when the solitude finished, I came into the room and I saw the card. I picked it up. It says, to Pastor Sunday. I've actually done a little bit of analysis on this, but Zoe will do the rest. It says to Pastor Sunday. So I was wondering who would write a card and do this and put to Pastor Sunday. I didn't even guess that it could be any of the daughters because I thought they would say to Daddy or something like that. But she wrote to Pastor Sunday. So that alone, like, wow for me. So Zoe, let me allow you to introduce yourself. But before Zoe introduces herself. You see, introduces herself. She's the one correcting me. I'm so grateful for being here with her. Before Zoe introduces herself, let me ask you guys, please share this and invite your friends. I came really late on this platform, so many people might have been waiting and I realized that I thought that I'm not coming, but I was in the wrong platform. So please do the honors and invite people and share this so that they wouldn't miss any of this. Here we have Zoe Adelaja. So introduce yourself, Zoe.
I'm Zoe.
Okay.
Adelaja. I am the older sister of Pearl, younger sister of Paris, the middle child, second daughter of Pastor Sunday and Pastor Adelaja.
Wow.
17 years old, and I'm in my last year of high school.
Wow. So did you hear that, guys? Did you see how Zoe is? Okay, she is Zoe Adelaja. She already said all those things, and I've said Zoe so many times. She's the first daughter, second child, younger sister to Pearl.
Older sister to Pearl.
Older sister to Pearl, and younger sister to Paris. So you could that description, that was just so amazing. So she put all her family in. So younger sister to Paris and older sister to Pearl. I love that. Thank you. Okay, Zoe. So this card, so guys, we're going to start now. So this card, tell us a little bit about this card and why you wrote a card and, you know, everything about it.
Okay, so it was Father's Day, and I had thought of drawing him a picture for a while, so I thought this would be the perfect time to finish it. And our mom told us to write our father a message because Pearl wrote him a message online and Paris wrote him a message online, but I didn't want to because I had planned something else, so I gave him the card instead. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, that's so simple. Is that all, Zoe? Okay, you said you've always wanted to draw him a picture, right?
I have thought of doing it for a while.
Okay, to draw a picture. So what's behind this picture that you wanted to draw him? What kind of picture did you have in your head to draw your dad?
There was a while after Dad's Facebook was deleted that he couldn't do live videos for a while. And the time that he had freed up because of that, he used for me and Pearl, and he'd spend time with us and talk, and he'd have lessons with us. And I really enjoyed that because we got to spend some more time with our father. And from that affection and time that we spent together, I wanted to show my affection to him through a picture. And picture is supposed to be a picture of me and my father.
Oh, this is interesting. You see, I have to draw some things out of Zoe, and I'm glad that I asked this question, that what was the picture in your head? Why did you want to draw a picture? So let me just take you back a little bit to what Zoe is saying. Zoe said that from the time that Dr. Sunday's page was deleted, if any of you remember, if you're new, there was a point where it was deleted by Facebook. That was some earlier this year. And during that time, their dad, Dr. Sunday, spent a lot of time with them. And she wanted to show him affection through drawing something for him. She also enjoyed the time very well, and she wants to make sure that she showed the dad her affection towards him for the time that they've spent together. But this is really giving me a lot of insight, and I hope that is giving you guys insight. Just this one question, I am gaining a lot. So the number one thing is, guys, again, if you're joining us now, I invited Zoe because she wrote a card on Father's Day that I found really touching, and I really just want to know what was behind that, the card, and how affectionate she was from what she's written. She's going to read the card out to you shortly, but from the card, the front of the card, she wrote, "To Pastor Sunday, to Pastor Sunday." When I saw this card on the table, I didn't really realize that it was a daughter that wrote the card. I was just thinking, who would have said, "Oh, to Pastor Sunday"? So when I realized that it was Zoe, at the end of the card, at the end of the written, what she has written in the card, I just saw Zoe written. I was just so shocked that she also wrote to Pastor Sunday. So I thought I should share her with you, or we should share her world right now with you. And the answer, the first question that I've just asked her is that what was she thinking? Why did she want to draw or even write to her dad? She told us the reason why she wanted to write to her dad, and also that she's wanted to draw for a while for him. And this was the result of that. So again, I think that there's a lot of insight here. So the dad spent a lot of time with Zoe. So one other thing also that I wanted to say about this, and I think I've mentioned it to Zoe already when she came in for this interview, was that, you know, she's a young lady, 17 years old, and even Pearl as well, that they, for me, they are inspiration. You know, I was 17 once, and I think many of us are, and I have lots of nieces and nephews, and I know what they get up to, and I don't see many of their age group do what they do, or even express themselves in the way that they do. Of course, yes, we have the excuse that they have great parents, but it's not just that. I think it's also individually putting themselves into what they want to do, and making their own paths, making their own choices. So this is really just to show you that, you know, this is their family. This is Zoe on her own, making her own choice. So she has said to you there, I got from that information, Dad spending a lot of time. I appreciate him for doing that. I want to draw something for him to show my affection towards him. So that's great. So Zoe, tell us a little bit more. So you wanted to show your affection towards your dad, and you thought drawing would be a good way?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
speak up.
I am an art. I like to draw. Drawing is a talent of mine, and it is my not easiest, but it is a very important medium to me when it comes to expressing things. Some things that I can't put into words, and some things are just better understood and transmitted through visuals. And drawing and writing are the ways I express things and thoughts and feelings the most, and I feel that can express things the most accurate. Either visuals and writing is like the best way, in my opinion, the best that I can of my abilities, at least. And I didn't want to, like I said, just write a Facebook message because I wouldn't be able to draw a picture that I wanted to. And I also wanted to give it to him like personally rather than online, virtually, because I like things that are more physical rather than things that are virtual. And you can see the hard work put into things, into drawings. I'm pretty sure that when drawing it, I was very stressing out over it to make sure, wondering if he would like it or not. But in the end, at the back of my mind, I obviously knew that he'd like it because I try my best and I'm his daughter and it's all for him. But I was trying to do my best even though I'm still not the best artist. And I wanted to draw because if I worried over my drawing and if I tried my best and if I wanted to make it as best as it could, then there would be effort put into it that he would appreciate and would be visible in the art. And then I wrote the letter and I traced it with ink to make it more clean. And I have a set of ink pens that I use for special occasions, and I used that pen, one of the pens. I was just worried about making any mistakes, but I was calm because I knew that I had the right intentions and I tried my best.
Well, I could listen to her all day, but I want to show you what she's done, and I'm going to ask her to read it. I'm going to ask her to read it shortly, Zoe. So here it's the drawing. I hope you guys can see it well. I wouldn't say much, I just want to show you. She would analyze it herself and read what she's written. So here it is as a whole. Okay, so personally, I also, just like her, like Zoe, I really appreciate things like this. You know, it means a lot to me. And like the virtual, I mean, that's the way life is now, technology and everything. But I really, really appreciate when somebody puts time. I think about the thoughts, the process, the time, the thinking, the just everything that is poured into creating this. I think about it. So when somebody presents me with this, I know that they're thinking about me. They've taken their time to put something together. So I was like really, really excited. I think I was even more excited than your dad, but he probably is used to this. So one thing, there's several things that you said on there, that you're somebody that wants to create something to give out of your efforts, out of your time, and you want to put your effort, your affection, your feelings into what you're doing. And you felt like with the virtual world, you can't do that.
I mean, you can with words, but I feel that I can do that through drawing as well because I like to draw. Okay. And he knows I like to draw. And when I draw, I tend to be a perfectionist.
Okay. Okay. All right. So in Zoe's words, she puts all her affection, she expresses herself in words and in drawing. She feels like she can express herself better in that. And that really got me thinking that, you know, sometimes we all want to do what other people are doing. And one of the things that Zoe said just now was, you know, Pearl's way of expressing herself also was through words, because Pearl is really a word player. She knows how to play with words very well. And she expressed herself through the medium of the social media, through the internet. And Zoe chose her own way. So also it shows me the different personality. And she wasn't pressured into, okay, Zoe, Pearl has done this, then let me also do this. You did your own thing, which is a really good lesson. And I think it's not just for young people, but this lesson is also important for even older people, even me, because sometimes you think, okay, everyone is doing this, like birthdays, you know, when they're wishing birthdays on the internet, and then you just jump on the bandwagon, but you would rather do something else, but you just do what everyone else is doing. So thank you for that. Okay, so Zoe, I just want you to explain to people, first of all, maybe you should read it out first, how you're feeling, and then I will ask some questions about some of the things that are here.
Dear Dad.
It started from here, right?
Oh, okay.
Right from here.
So the picture has a picture of my father and myself facing each other. And there's a book saying Oloronwa, Roads of Life, which is my dad's biography or memoir. And under it says, I love you, thanks for loving me. And the letter says, or the card, Dear Dad, I love you endlessly, unconditionally, forever. Thank you for always showing us you care, teaching us and supporting us. Remember that you are never ever alone in your daily struggles. You are always loved and you are to be rewarded more than you can imagine for your good and loyal service. God bless. Lots of love, Zoe Adelaja.
Okay. So, I hope you guys heard that. Zoe read it very modestly. I don't think I read better than Zoe, but I just want to read it out to you the way I got this. So, I got Roads of Life, Oloronwa. So, Zoe explained that was her dad's biography. So, that's Dad, and that's Zoe with a heart. And then she wrote, I love you. Thanks for loving me. Oh. And then she says, Dear Dad, I love you endlessly, unconditionally, forever. Thank you for always showing us you care, teaching us and supporting us. Remember that you are never, ever alone in your daily struggles. You are always loved and you are to be rewarded more than you can imagine for your good and loyal service. Can you believe this? God bless. Lots of love, Zoe Adelaja. And then she had this smiley face, little smiley face. I think Zoe is shy there. This card is really loaded for me. All right, so tell us a little bit more about the card, your process of this card, because you had like a hard part at the top here with the drawing. So tell us a little bit more about that.
I drew a drawing on a separate piece of paper. The paper is like for drawing, and the paper that the card is on isn't for drawing. So I drew the picture on drawing paper, and then I glued it on the parts of the card. And then I drew it with a pencil. I tried out different poses, different ways, because I'm not like the best at drawing humans yet, I guess, especially like based off real people, like portraits. So I tried to do a more simplistic style, and then I was really nervous and also rushing because I wanted to do it by the end of the day. And then I wrote, I love you, thanks for loving me, because the feeling or the statement I was trying to portray the most of the picture was me loving him and being grateful to him for loving me, because I guess I felt that the most when we spend time together. So that's there's also hearts there between us, which is supposed to be the biggest sign of love in the picture.
So there's a heart between them. Show them the heart.
That red thing, the only thing with color on the page.
Mm.
It's black. And then there's a book saying Aloranwa, Roads of Life. And later in the letter it describes about how through his struggles he's not alone, we're with him.
We haven't finished with the pictures, Zoe.
I know, but that's why the book is there.
So the book is... So you're leaning on the book?
Yeah, because I'm not as tall as him. And proportionally it wouldn't work.
Oh, you're leaning on it with your hand?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're looking up
At him because he's taller than me.
Okay. And what is he doing? What is your
He's just listening or talking to me. He's talking to me and I'm listening to him.
Okay.
And we're sitting at a table. And the book is Roads of Life or Lawanwa because it is his story and it's all about, and this card is all for and about him. And it says, and if you read the book, you know he's gone through his fair share of struggles and hardships. But because of those, he is who he is today, and he has his family. I'm here because of that, because of his struggles, because of his past. And I want to support him, and I'm grateful and thankful for all that he's gone through, and all that he is going through, and all that he will go through. And I'll support him all the way.
Brilliant. Thank you for that insight. Because, you know, when I read this, I think I first said Roads of Life the first time I read it. I didn't actually read it properly, that it was Roads of Life. And then you said Olorunwa. I just thought you were just mentioning his name, not because of his biography, which is also Olorunwa. So Dr. Sunday's biography is titled Olorunwa. God exists. That's what it means, I think. God exists. Olorun is God in Yoruba language. So his biography is Olorunwa. You can also get his biography on Amazon. So Amazon of any country that you're in is worth reading. The biography. You will know a lot more about Dr. Sunday. And it's really interesting because we know when you wrote in here that he's not alone in his struggles or his daily struggles. I really wasn't even thinking of his past struggles. So you were thinking of the struggles through his biography and what he's been through.
I'm thinking of his current struggles and all the struggles ever. But like the book makes sure that it doesn't exclude the past either. Okay.
So you didn't want to exclude the past because that's what made him, you said that was what made him who he is now, and you're grateful for who he is.
The past is very important to every human. It explains how they got to where they are, and you should never forget your roots and where you came from, and the people who helped you along the way, and why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay. So you wanted to depict that in your pictures as well, so that you know the past is not something that you take for granted. You appreciate his past as well.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, go on.
Dear Dad, because it's Father's Day and it's for him, I love you endlessly, unconditionally, and forever, because it's true. Thank you for always showing us you care, teaching us and supporting us, because ever since we were young, he has always set apart time for us, and will teach us morals and lessons, and secrets of life and things to live by. And whenever he criticized us, it'd be to make us better, and he'd be mostly always supportive of us, of our dreams, and pushing us to be better for the best. And making sure we always set good, high goals and not aim for small, mediocre things. And teaching us everything that he knows so that we can be great like him. Remember that you're never alone in your daily struggles. You're always loved and you're to be rewarded more than you can imagine for your good and loyal service. Because Dad obviously goes through a lot every day, has a busy schedule all the time. Even though he can't leave Ukraine at the moment, he still keeps himself busy. His whole life, every second of his day, is dedicated to serving God, to God, and only God. And there will be times, there are times where it's hard and it's difficult and it's not easy. And so I wanted to remind him, or let this be a reminder that throughout his struggles that he might go through, because I don't know all his struggles. We don't talk like for a long time every day. And I know he goes through a lot of things that we don't know about. Most of them, I think, like, if anyone, mom and some other people who work with him know about. But I know that I don't know a lot of what he goes through. But I want him to remember that we're still here for him and we're supporting him. And he's always loved unconditionally. And he's going to be rewarded more than he can imagine for his good and loyal services. And so this might be like support in times when he needs it, but also it's true all the time, not only during bad times. And then it says, God bless, lots of love, Zoe Adelaja.
Where are we? That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I mean, Zoe just gave a very modest, I think, analysis of this beautiful card that she made for her dad on Father's Day. And you know, everything that she said here is really loaded. For me, I am somebody that I appreciate things like this more than, you know, being given like a physical present other than this, because of the time it's taken to do this, the thoughts behind it. I really appreciate it. I know it's physical as well, but you know what I mean, more than being given material things. Like, I really appreciate this. And I think I appreciate it for your dad as well. But some of the things that you said there is really grown up. I know you're not like a kid, like a, you know, 10-year-old or 9-year-old, but there's so much loving somebody unconditionally, endlessly, and also understanding his struggles. Even when I ask you that, is it linked to his past struggle as a young person, as a child growing up, you said yes, that is important, but for his current struggles. And you know, you also said there that you don't talk to him about his struggle every day or speak to him that something is going wrong, but you know that, you know, this would happen or this happens through maybe he would have talked to your mom or maybe other people. So you know that there are struggles and challenges that goes on, and you wanted to show him that he will be supported, is loved, and you're there for him, right? But that's usually something that children expect from their parents, not children showing that to their parents. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
But I think it's true that most children, like if they have good families, do love their parents unconditionally and do want to support their parents. You know?
Yeah, I think
just
it's
feels
true.
like the parents' job is to protect and take care of the kids, but the kids also love the parents and want to take care of them. So like that's why if it's like during their birthdays, they go out and make sure they get, like, I don't know, presents, or they get them, or like if they go past something that they know their parents love, then they get it for them, because they know that the parents do so much for them and they can't do much at their age. So they do the little that they do is as much as they can.
You mean their children?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like it's a good family love, because like it's easy to love parents unconditionally. I think if you're like raised in a good family and you don't have any like abuse or anything. And of course, when you love someone, you want to please them, make them happy, and if they're going through hard times, you want them to rely on you, and you want to help in any way you can. And obviously, I know my parents are going through hard times a lot of the time, so this seems natural and normal to me.
So it's natural and normal for you to write this. So you see, Zoe again is saying that this is not a big thing that she's written this and said, you know, she loves her dad, she loves her parents, she wants to support them, she wants to be there for them, she loves them unconditionally, endlessly. And I'm saying that this is a big deal, because I remember I was at age once, and I love my parents too, and I'll just say, I love you, mommy, I love you, daddy, that's it. You know, I don't express it in this way, even though I could have, or it would have been good to express it, but I just see some sort of maturity there, where you're talking about struggles. I didn't talk about my parents' struggles. It wasn't even oblivious to, or I was totally oblivious to their struggles. So,
well, like the basics. For example, if they pay for you going to college, or like the years they spend raising you, and especially if you had siblings, or the fact that they give you food and a place to live and pay rent and bills and water and electricity, like those basics. I'm sure every child, once they stop thinking about themselves, and once they get like to the age of like teenager or something, I'm sure they comes across their mind at least once that their parents have to do that stuff. And you know, some kids might think like, oh, but that's like I'm entitled to that. That's what they're supposed to do, since blah blah. But like if they don't like hate their parents, and if they like love their parents, then they, I assume, would be grateful for that. And if you won't express your thoughts, then there's no way they'll know. Actually, I know people have problems expressing their thoughts and emotions because it may be hard or difficult, but the fact is we're not mind readers. And if you want them to know things, you have to tell them. So that's what I did.
Yay!
Especially since it was Father's Day.
Yay! Yes, that's what you did, Zoe. But you are now teaching me Children 101. You know how people do Parents 101? You're teaching me. If I was a young person right now, I want to be listening to this, because I remember my childhood and my being with my parents. I say to my parents I love them, but I don't remember actually expressing it in this way to this depth, like telling them about their struggles, telling them about my love, my affection for them in this way. Yes, I hug them, I kiss them, I say, thank you, daddy, thank you, mommy, you know that, just the usual kind of, way. But to this depth, I also think that young people should listen to this, because you made really valid point that with everything our parents does for us, throughout our whole life, this is just normal. This should be the basic that we do. This shouldn't be like seen as like such a big deal. It should be the norm. And you made emphasis that, especially when you come from a good home where you've not been abused, you've not been treated badly in any way, then this shouldn't be anything that should be difficult. So I hope there are people listening there, and also parents as well. Young people and parents that are listening out there, that yes, I'm finding this surprising, not because children shouldn't do this or they don't do this, but I'm just thinking to the depth of what you have done, how you, even though they're just simple words, but they're very heavy words, like, love you endlessly, supporting them, you're understanding your dad's struggle, daily struggle, and things like that. Maybe I'm just one of those children that don't want to deal with struggle, or even think that my dad struggles or my mom struggles. They're like super people to me. So, which is being in denial, as a young person. I wasn't reasoning that way. I was reasoning as, anything I want, they take care of it, whatever, they take care of it. So it's really interesting for me to see this. And I think, guys, if you're out there, let your young people see this. They might learn from it. Don't suggest anything to them. Just let them see it. I think it's a good idea for the other young people to see it. So what else would you like to tell us? Because I think I could do, if I was a young person now, I would want to learn some things from you. So what else do you want to tell us?
So if you have people in your life who you love and care for, even if you see them every day or just once in a while, don't take them for granted, and take time to acknowledge what they actually do and what they bring to your life, and make sure that they know that you appreciate them and the things they do. Like with your friends, with your classmates, with a family, maybe it was just like one person that you're not really close to showed a random act of kindness, and then it changed your mood for the rest of the day and made you like happier. If possible, try, and I know it seems a little bit awkward and weird to just talk to this person you're not close to, but for me it's important to let people know when they've made a difference, because many people live life and they do small acts of good and kindness, and they're not like thanked for it, and they think they have no impact or effect on anyone when they actually do. Small acts go a long way. And I think, like, if I go out of my way to do something nice to someone, I would appreciate a thank you, to know that it was worth it, and that it wasn't in vain. So that's what I think of when I thank people and write things to people. So whenever it's like a happy birthday thing, like on Facebook, it's person's birthday, and it's a person who I really like and impacted my life in a way, I always like make sure to leave them, to tell them how much they mean to me and why and how much I love them. And I know that there's always like a few people who leave paragraphs and pictures of on their walls when it's their birthday. But if I don't have paragraphs, I don't write paragraphs. I just write what I have and what is true. So this letter wasn't really that long. It was just like 3 or 4 sentences. And it was pretty vague. I think I said struggles. I didn't say anything specific about the struggles, because I said I don't know everything he goes through. And I said all the things, showing us you care, teaching us and supporting us. I didn't say how, but I don't have to, because I'm talking to him and he knows. And all these things here, there's nothing new. It's all things that he already knows, just like a reminder and support. Because when I give people things, I think of what I'd like to get and what I'd appreciate. To me personally, every drawing I draw, I never draw something I'm not satisfied with. Every drawing I draw, I like it and I'm proud of it. So if I gave away a drawing that I drew, it's giving away something that I hold very dear. And even if that person doesn't know that it's dear to me, it's very important to me to give, if I care about them, to give them an honest and sincere gift, or something honest and sincere, to let them, even if they don't know how much effort I put into it. Like, I'm not being cheap, even though I didn't buy anything. I'm being genuine, and everything is genuine. So, and it's very interesting because I had a friend, for example, and it was her birthday, and people were giving her gifts, but I just gave her a letter. And she said mine was her favorite, even though I didn't buy anything.
She's probably like me.
Yeah, she just said, oh, it's just the things that you said in the letter, and I was like, okay, whatever. But yeah, just like let people know if they have a good impact on you, because it's very important, and it really lightens up their mood, and it can change some things about them. And like everything in this thing was important to me. Like the big cardboard paper for the card was paper I also use on special occasions. And this was specifically drawing paper, and the ink, pens, and the fact that I drew a picture instead of just writing it on Facebook. And I was nervous the whole time through. And I wrote to Pastor Sunday because
I wanted to know that, actually.
Because I wanted to give it to him when he was right after the live broadcast, but he already went to his room, so I put it on the table because I didn't know if I was able to go into his room because he was in solitude. So I wanted people to know who it was for. So I wrote to Pastor Sunday.
Not to Dad.
No, not to Dad. That's something Pearl would say.
Oh.
Pastor Sunday, because it was for him. And like, even though there's only one man in this room, like, he is Pastor Sunday. He's not Dad. I mean, he's not Dad or Uncle. He is Pastor Sunday. If that makes sense.
No, tell us a little bit more about that. I don't know. If it makes sense that he's also Pastor Sunday, but coming from you, it must have a deeper meaning than he's Pastor Sunday. Because to us it's Pastor Sunday, but to you is your dad and he's also Pastor Sunday. But then you chose to write Pastor Sunday.
No, it's just because let's see. Because I want people to know that it was for him. Because it was going to be like a random piece of paper on a table, and people wouldn't know who it's for. But then I write Pastor Sunday. And if I wrote to Dad, I wasn't going to write from, because it was going to be like this, and it was going to say from inside here anyway. And because it was to him, so that there would be any a misunderstanding. Also, because Pastor Sunday, there's no other Pastor. Maybe there's another person named Pastor Sunday in the world, but this is, even though it's like to my father, to my dad. My father is Pastor Sunday, and this is like, for all that he's, like I said in the story, the struggles that he's gone through and the struggle he is going through, it's all made who he is, and it's making who he is, and he forever will be Pastor Sunday to everybody else on earth and to our family as well.
You know what I got from that? Thank you for your in-depth analysis without me even asking. Thank you. You know what I got from that when you said to Pastor Sunday is that you also have accepted your dad, that he is somebody that is of service to the world. He's somebody that is serving the world. He is not just your dad, right? And it's not just about you. You've accepted him for who he is, and that's who he is. So you would, and that's who he is proud to be. And you're also proud of him for that, not just because he's your dad. So that means, for me, it really meant a lot just to see that you wrote to Pastor Sunday, not to my dad. You know, you could have written to my dad, it wouldn't be a problem. Of course, I know that he's your dad. You know, you don't need to tell me that. But it just tells me that you also knows his role. You accepted him for his role, for who he is, for his purpose on earth. You know, and you wanted him to know that that's the way you feel. You accepted him as a pastor to the world, of service to the world, and you will support him. So even what you wrote in here backed up, this is already backed it up. You know, in terms of the unconditional love, the supporting him, the service that he's provided, he should be rewarded for it. So this already said, you saying to Pastor Sunday already told me that, because yes, most children, you know, even if I was going to write to my dad at my age, I would still say to my dad, mine, you know. But, you know, everything that you said in terms of expressing yourself with love, understanding his past, understanding his current situation, understanding who he is, loving him and appreciating him, is all here in to Pastor Sunday. For me, coming from you, if somebody else wrote it, it might have a different meaning. But even for me, coming from you, it had that meaning of the content of this card. It says it all. So I just wanted to probe you to see if that's your thought as well. But you gave me a very good explanation, good answer to that. Thank you. You see, there's a lot of things that you're saying that I just think that it's just so mature, and, you know, giving, I know you're from a very good balanced family. That's why a lot of us are here. Those of us that are here that are not from your immediate family, and you guys just take us in, as, you know, as family. I also think that your level of kind of gratitude and understanding of gratitude, because it's really deep, you know, because even saying that your friend's birthday, you wrote a letter to her, a note, and she appreciated it. She said she loved it, the word that you said, and also the advice that you've given us, that it's really good to express gratitude to people, to show them that you love them, you appreciate them on occasions, let them know. And also the way you would do it is that even if people are writing paragraphs, right, you would do, if you don't have paragraphs of information, what you have, what is true to you, what you have inside, you will give them, even if it's a sentence. Am I getting that correctly? And, you know, that goes a long way. That is a very meaningful and thoughtful thing to say, because sometimes we think we get intimidated, both young people and adults, when you see other people write so many things on Facebook, on, you know, social media generally, congratulating somebody else. You might just want to be drawn into just writing paragraphs as well, or writing nothing, you know. But you kind of gave us a key there, that, you know, you don't need to write paragraphs and paragraphs. You can just write how you feel, what is true to you. You don't have to give presents. Just expressing to somebody that you appreciate them like you did with your friend, even though you didn't give a present. Your friend said that was very important to her, that she appreciated it. And, one of the best things that she received for her birthday. So you've taught me some lessons here already. A lot of lessons, actually. I think I'll go back and watch this again and again. I'm not sure what the time is. Guys, thank you so much. Guys, if you haven't shared this already, can you please do so? So that more people will be able to hear this and be blessed. This is Zoe Adelaja. And in her words, she would say, the second child of Dr. Sunday Adelaja, the younger sister to Perez Adelaja, and the older sister to Pearl Adelaja. So the PP, and she's the middle child, she would say. So she's quite reserved, but she's very, very loaded, full of wisdom. And she was just going through the card that she presented, or she presented, yes, to her dad on Father's Day this year. So I'm just showing you here. That's the card here. This is the, I don't know if you can see the front of the card right here. And she also mentioned in terms of the content that it might not be a lot, but it is true to her. It's everything that she wants to say, and she wanted to show her dad affection. So Zoe, tell us a little bit more about your relationship. It doesn't have to just be your dad, because also we have your mom, and we don't often see your mom's card. I'm sure that you also send her cards, and you show your own gratitude to her and your love to her. So you could tell us a little bit about that as well. What you want to share?
Okay. My relationship between my mom and my dad are different because my mom spends mostly the whole day with us. Like from the morning and in the evening, we see her a lot more than we see our father every day, which might have some kind of effect because the people we see less of, we tend to be more open with our affections, I'm pretty sure. For example, if we see, like, my brother, when he was here, I'm pretty sure I got into a lot more arguments with him, but now that he comes back every few months, not as often, we get along a lot better. So I think it's like, this happens that when you see people less often, you try to not get into fights or whatever. But with our mom, she disciplines us more, she scolds us more, and she spends more time with us, which means she supports us more and encourages us more. And it's a lot easier for us to take her for granted. But I try to show my affection to her. I try to show my affection to her when I go out of my way to do things, like, do what I'm supposed to do without being asked, and like not talk back or give my points of view when I'm being scolded because I know that I'm wrong anyway. And I just try to not do anything that might upset her sometimes. But of course it might be difficult because I'm still a child. I remember when I also drew her a picture one time, and it wasn't even like her birthday or anything, I just drew her a picture. Because that is, like I said, my media of expression, one of my main mediums of expressions. But with my mom, I tried to show her affection more frequently, see her more often. And I try to show her, and I think when I do, it gets through to her, even though there aren't like as direct as a card or as big. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, did you see what, did you hear what Zoe just said there? I hope you did. Her relationship between her dad and mom, or between her and her dad and mom, is different because, first of all, they're different people, and she spends a lot more time with her mom. So she sees the mom more often. But what the lessons I learned from that, what she just said now, was that, we tend to show more affection to people that we don't see often. And she gave the example of her brother, that now that he's in school, when he comes home, she's more, maybe more agreeable, more affectionate towards him, because she doesn't see him as often as she used to. So she appreciates the time that she spends with him. Whereas because she spends a lot of time with the mom and not as much time with the dad, so she will show the dad more affection because you only see them sometimes. But those are things that we all do, that we all take for granted, and we don't take that cues or that observation that you've just given us now. So that's another lesson for me. If you're out there, this is a great lesson for me. Even though I see somebody all the time because they're spending a lot of time with me, they're looking after me, not to take them for granted. Appreciate them as often as I can. Don't say, well, I'll see them tomorrow, or not even think the way that Zoe just analyzed to us and just said that, not thinking that, okay, this person spends a lot of time with me, I see them a lot, I'll get on this person's nerves a lot. I should really appreciate them more for that, not, take them for granted. So I'm going to learn that lesson, because there's so many people in the house, or maybe because I see them a lot, I might not appreciate them. I might just think, well, I see this person all the time, so why does it matter? And then when I see somebody that comes that I haven't seen for a while, I'm all hugging them and saying, hey, hi. So again, big lesson, big lesson there. Thank you. Anything else you would like to share with us, Zoe? It'll be interesting to know your final year in school now.
This is just my second day of school.
Okay, cool. Yeah, final year in school and second day in school. New term. Tell us a little bit about that.
Not much has happened yet. This is only second day of school.
Yes, it's only second day, but what do you anticipate in this last year? You can tell us about that, not what has just happened already. Also things that you anticipate this final year.
I anticipate to treasure and value the time I have with the people at school, like my classmates, since we won't be classmates for much longer. And I know the people that I will see this year, I will most likely not see again for a very long time. This is mostly a year for us to get ready to live on our own, to pursue higher goals, and I anticipate to reach my goals and reach them successfully with flying colors and well. And I also anticipate to help others, because this is our last year. We're going to be like role models to the younger students, and I want to be helpful to everyone, since I've been in the school for most of my school years. And I want to thank all the teachers for what they've done, and I want to be a positive influence to the school community. And I wish the best for everyone who entered the school and leaves the school.
Interesting. And you didn't have much to say when I asked you about school. You were again reserved to tell me what you anticipate and what you wish. But that was a lot that you said there. You're going to try your best, do your best, leave school with flying colors, spend a lot of time with your friend and appreciate them, since this is going to be the final year and you're all going your separate ways. You'll still be friends, but you won't be seeing them as much as you used to, right? So you're going to spend time with them, appreciate them, do well in school, achieve your goals. So Zoe's going to achieve all her goals. If I should go into the goals, we'll be here probably to the next session, which will probably be in about an hour from now. And then Zoe also talked about being a good role model for the younger ones that are coming into the school, being a good example, a good student for the school, someone that that's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. It's what you just said here now. Being a good student, being somebody that speak well of the school community, or is appreciated or known as a positive influence to the school community. So I think we should all take a cue anywhere that we're at or anywhere that we've been. We should leave good footstep, good traces of our presence in there. And I think that's what Zoe is saying in terms of her presence, to be recognized positively. Very good. Living with flying colors, being a good role model, and leaving a good legacy in the school. So that's absolutely amazing. I just remembered what you said earlier about your drawing. I didn't actually repeat that. That anything that you do, you want to put your best in it and put your heart. And you once you do any drawing, you never do any drawing without you being happy with it, satisfied. You said that right? And you know who that reminded me of? Guess who? Come on, guess who? Just guess. Guess what? Guess. Zoe, go on, guess.
Dad?
Yay! She guessed right. She said, Dad. Yes, that, as you were saying, I was like, what? She's exactly the same. This is drawing, but I'm sure it's other things as well. Your dad always says that anything I do, I want to be the best at it. No one is going to do it better than me. Do you remember those statements? So is that how you are as well? And yours is really very subtle, but I think it's very profound as well. You said you, right, will be happy, satisfied with it, before you give it to them. And even if the person don't appreciate it or they don't see it the way that you do, is what you want to give. Is the truth from you. Their peace and the joy and the fullness is everything that you put in here. You're happy with it before you present it. That's amazing. I love that. Totally. So I remember just now, I know we've reached the end of this interview, and I just remembered that. Thank you so much. I would like to rewatch this, and I think we should all watch it again. Zoe is, to me, like a gentle giant. She's very gentle, but to me, she's really a giant. And I think we have so much here that we can learn from this interview and some of the things that she said. I'm sure that this is just an iceberg of who Zoe is, and I'm looking forward to interviewing her again and again before she goes off to university, and maybe towards the end of the year or mid-year to see her again. It would be nice. I'm sure something else will happen that will warrant an interview, maybe together. Actually, I would do it separately because they're so unique, so different. And also, maybe one day I would interview Perez, and maybe he would tell me some gist about you and how you used to be towards him. I'm looking forward to that. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been such a pleasure. We have here
Zoe Adelaja.
Zoe Adelaja and Mayowa. So guys, thank you so much. I've been saying so much. But thank you. I appreciate you. I'm sure Zoe does as well. We will see you back in about an hour. I can't see the time, so I'm not facing the time right now. But I think it's about an hour. So we'll see you. Dr. Sunday will continue his series on the, I think it's the, I don't remember the title, but this really hefty series. I really want you to join us about church, about identifying the church being hijacked, about paganism, like we discussed yesterday, and Christianity, the difference. I'm learning so much. I think I've been a pagan all along, I'm just learning now. Even being in this house, I think I've been a pagan, because the way that I pray is the old ways that I've been taught, and I'm always needing something. God, I want this, I want that. Not actually loving God and being having a relationship with God. But I think I'm starting to develop a relationship with God. But guys, please join us. We'll be back in 1 hour. Dr. Sunday will be back to continue this series, this hefty series, like I said. And I look forward to seeing you again. We'll see you soon. Take care. From me and Zoe, bye.
Bye.